Oops.
Okay, now we're there. We're back, everybody. Welcome back. Bo, what are we doing?
So Hope, Varel, and Stanley made a beeline, ran towards the interceptor, the vehicle that they were all driving to get here to the crater, jumped in and took off quietly, no lights, and then found out when they were chasing the dragon, veered off to the right, silently and quietly. You didn't notice this, Nash.
Okay.
So a spotlight was shown upon you. You kind of looked back to see what it was, and you saw this.
Oh, my Lord.
So you look behind you and you see that there's a giant warband on its way to you. Except that vehicle there is incorrect. So hang on. Now that they're not being chased, it's you. Do you see that in Roll20?
Hold on. I don't see me, but maybe it's because I got something in the way. Hold on.
Well, this would have been better with dynamic lighting, but we're going to get rid of all that stuff because that's not here now.
Oh, here we go. Oh, geez. This is awesome. Whoa. Wait, where'd everything go?
I just got rid of... There's not chasing the vehicle. They made it away safely, and they're chasing you.
Oh, okay. That
They're
was
way in
awesome.
the
There's so
sky.
many of them.
Yep, there's a giant warband now on your trail.
Okay.
And you hear a thunk, whoosh, and a giant javelin flies past you.
Okay.
You can barely make it out in the night sky. Keep in mind it's like pitch black, and you're using your dark vision to see. There's a giant warband behind you. There are looks to be 8 motorcycles, and you just hear. There's 2 dune buggies. There's like 10 pickup trucks replete with bugbears on top of them, and in the back you can see a yacht. And the mage, the Wormfather, the one they called the Wormfather, sitting atop it, pointing forward at the dragon. You can't make out what they're saying, but you see the warband chasing after you. And you're flying as fast as you can, but you've only got about 3 hours of flight time before your man mode. And you're just barely keeping up. You're using every bit of effort to keep ahead of it. Now you could go high in the sky. I mean, remember the verticality is a thing here.
How high am I right now?
I mean, you're about 80 feet up. I don't know. As high up as you want to be.
Okay.
We're not really in combat turns, but
So it's
to give you an idea of what might have happened had Hope not hidden the car, this would be the combat encounter that you would all be facing, but now it's just Nash facing it.
Shit. Okay. I don't know what to do.
You can. I mean, think you're not a car, so you're not locked to the land where the cars are locked to the land, right?
Well, they are, but they aren't because there's no roads. They could veer wherever I go. I'm actually, in terms of terrain, what am I looking at? Are there mountains? Is there anywhere I can go where they are forced into kind of a funnel? And
so there are dunes, but there is no terrain where they're forced into a funnel or where that you can easily lose them that you can see on the horizon. But there are dunes that will keep them slowed down, the Weeping Dunes, that you're flying towards because you're heading east.
All right, let's fly toward those. Whatever my perception is that a thing that will slow them down is where I would want to head.
Okay. So you continue to the east for another 10, 20 minutes, and the dunes start to become apparent again, and they start slowing down as they have to fly over. The motorcycles drive up, vroom, hit the air, and you see the bugbears. They hit back down on the ground.
Okay.
It's slowing them, but they're still chasing you. They can still see you. The spotlights are still scanning the sky for you. When they catch you, they seem to move in your direction.
Okay. So, can I tell that this is working though? Like, am I able to see that this is slowing
It's
them?
not shaking them.
It's not shaking them at all. All right.
There's a zealousness to them. They don't seem to be moving from your backside.
And they've got lights on me, so I can't use the dark, really. I would like to suddenly veer really hard to the left.
Okay.
Just cut hard left and see if that doesn't shake them or make them, they have to overcompensate to keep up.
Okay. Let's make it's just some sort of trickery that you're doing. Let's make a deception roll, please.
Serpentine. Okay.
A serpentine roll.
That's a 14. What do I have for my... I don't think he has any... What was it? I'm sorry, perception? What'd you say? Or deception?
Deception.
Deception, sorry.
You're trying to make a deceptive maneuver.
All right, so that would be 17.
Okay, so you veer hard to the left, trying to throw them, but they see you move to the left, and they do slow down, and you do lose them. They put a bit of space between you and them. They're farther back now. You just see the headlights in the distance, but they still have your scent and your direction. You see the spotlight scanning behind you, but you've put extra distance between you and them.
You know how we're always seeing dragons fly out of the sand? Do I have any ability to penetrate the sand? To, like, go...
No.
Okay.
No. But you can fly. Remember, it's overcast. Usually the desert's wide, bright open. You'd be seeing your silhouette in the moon, but right now it's dusty from all the dust particles in the atmosphere because of the crater landing.
Right.
So the higher you go, the less visible you will be.
Well, I just go as high as I can then and get past whatever clouds are creating the overcast.
Okay. You take a hard left and fly straight up.
Okay.
The ground becomes nothing but little insects. Everything's so small, like taking off in an airplane. Just like, eventually, till you can't see the sky, the floor, the ground anymore, and you're up higher in the atmosphere than you've ever been in your life.
Okay. I'll level off up there then. Can I tell if they still... do I have any perception of where they are now?
You can't see that far down, but the one saving grace of this is they can't see that far up. We'll get back to you in a second. Let's check in with the group.
Okay.
So the warband that was chasing you and Nash are gone. Do we head back to Tiet Kala? Are we good?
Yeah. I'm not gonna. Yeah. The hope's going straight back.
Okay. And
unless anyone in the car has something to say.
How long's the drive?
Yeah, how long did it take us to get out here?
It was about 5 hours.
They're the best friends.
But part of it...
Hey,
you didn't have to say a dragon.
Yeah.
It was about 3 hours because... but it took longer because the dunes were rough terrain getting back. So it'll take you about 5 hours because you have the dunes to go over. But he could probably fly in 3. Is your thinking. He doesn't know that yet because he hasn't asked me.
Do they not know? They know that the war party veered off, but they don't really know that they're in hot pursuit of me.
Yeah, they don't know your situation.
Okay.
They're far, far away now.
Yeah, and I
They're
think
safe,
Nash
though.
will just fly back. He's a dragon. That's Hope's thinking anyway.
Am I better with directions as a dragon than I am in real life as Scott Johnson? Because
Nope.
Oh,
Well, I mean, it's a fantasy character you're playing, so yes, your character can be better at things than Scott Johnson.
yeah.
But is the dragon any more aware geographically than Nash? No.
Okay. Okay, that's good to know. All right, sorry, you're back at the car. You're not. with
Yeah,
me.
as long as you reassure us on that fact, because about an hour in, I'd probably start asking questions about where Nash went and...
I mean, my Hope's answer would simply be, I mean, he's a dragon. He can fly and see things further. So I guess he's okay. Maybe he had to go do something.
I don't like the idea of leaving him out there, but, I mean, it's a lot of wasteland to search, especially if he's going to turn back into a guy. I don't know where we would even begin.
Yeah, and clearly he didn't want to ride in the car, or else he would have just turned back into a human.
Do we have a way to contact him?
No.
What about that whispering from the house so long ago? Or was that a Diantalis trick?
That was a Diantalis trick.
Have you learned this trick from him?
No, that is something that is a purely him ability. I can tell you, my understanding of it is it would be limited with what it would be capable of doing to begin with.
I could leave a trail of bananas.
Or maybe Nobieri or Eminil might have a spell or something when we get back to town.
I mean, honestly, the trail of bananas is not a terrible idea.
It's not actually.
Well, at that saying, then I will chuck one banana out the window from my bunch. How many bananas do I have in a bunch?
I mean, you grabbed a big pile. I've seen the pictures online. You've got maybe 50.
Yeah, like the pillar down the middle with all the bananas and the circles around it. Yeah,
maybe
cool.
more. There's a lot.
All right, sweet.
All right. So how long every mile? You've got about. Let me see how many miles. Let's go to the world map here.
One
Let's
banana
figure out
every mile.
how many bananas you have to use. Okay, this is unexpected.
Oh, really? You didn't expect to be doing banana math today
Yeah.
for D&D?
I can't imagine.
So 30 feet per hex. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 100, or not feet, miles. 120 miles. Where's the calculator? You need 120 bananas. You've got about. I didn't think about exactly how many you have. All right, I gotta look this up. How many bananas?
We don't need a
in a
perfect chain of bananas to the keep. We can just, a general direction.
All right, so there's 20 bananas in a bunch.
Bananas.
Let's say you grabbed a few rings, so you got about 60 bananas. So one every 2 miles if you use them all up.
Okay, well,
the way back.
Vrel would do this in that they'd be pretty frequent when he first starts, but as the bananas start to run low, they become more separated. And then he has at least 3 bananas he's keeping so they can be planted to his understanding.
Okay.
For infinite bananas.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to keep some for infinite bananas.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. You start leaving a trail. A survivor roll, please.
Survival.
And
8.
Let's 8. All right, let's have you make 4 of these skill checks, please. That's 1.
Okay.
I want to.
A 22,
Yeah.
an 18, and a 9.
Perfect. All right. So if there's any other RP you'd like to get done, the journey is set. You'll be leaving bananas on the way back to Tietkala. Anything else anyone wants to do before I go back to Nash?
I will be lamenting that the worms are apparently noble fighters, and this vexes me.
Why do you
Okay.
think the worms are noble fighters?
Because they were piloting the man, and he wished to do a noble death.
How do you know that's the worm and not just his own thoughts?
Doesn't the worm make him say things and do things and ride him like a pony?
It makes them say the name Delapopio again and again and again, but though they weren't saying anything.
So your assassin was driven by his own means to assassinate, but had zero desire to say Dolapopio.
No, he said that name again and again and again, and so he was driven by the worm. But these guys, they had worms in them, but they didn't say the name.
They did say the name. As I slew him, he said the name.
Oh.
Well, I imagine maybe it's, Dientalis is in my head, but not all the time. I'm in control right now, but maybe he takes over every now and then and kills a funny little man.
R.I.P. Coupon.
I'm just saying we don't know. It could be, but I don't... Leeches don't exactly strike me as noble, Varel. Banana.
No, thank you.
All right, let's go back to Nash. Nash, you're floating in the air trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah. I'd like to dip back down low enough to see if I've truly shaken the war party.
Okay.
And if so, well, I guess let's see.
All right. You fly back down. You want to do it stealthily?
Yes, I would.
So stealth check for me first as you slowly and making a minimal amount of noise and visibility in the sky commence your
That
dissension?
would be a grand
Your descent.
dissension. That'd be a
Descent.
Descent. Yeah, that'd be a grand total of 15.
Okay. Just to slowly glide down, looking around. As you get lower, you notice a series of headlights off to the left of you.
Okay.
Yeah. You're facing north. Off to the left. Apparently following the direction that you had sent them in until you suddenly veered up.
Okay.
You see searchlights scrambling, though, in all directions. They probably won't remain there long.
They're looking for me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I would like to
Your
go
dragon meat.
in the opposite direction that they are hunting.
All right. You are aware that the place you came from was east.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell which way is east in this, but you can still see from a distance the impact site where it was. You sort of remember relative to where you were, where that was, and so you head the opposite direction, which would be back home.
Okay.
As you fly that direction, you see a banana on the ground.
I mean, I can see these too, right? Because I've got that vision now where I can see.
You got dark vision. They're very small, and you're high enough up there you might not miss it, but there's an unmistakable sort of shape in the ground of a banana and a sort of drag trail where it was tossed and sort of rolled a bit before it landed in its final resting spot.
All right, the first banana I see, my dragon thoughts are, a banana.
And near the banana are tire marks. You can see sort of cut into the sand some fresh tire marks, and only one set.
All right, my first thought is they've just lost a banana because I don't see a pattern yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I will follow those tracks though, hoping that's the direction I should be going.
Yeah. Make 4 survival rolls, please.
Okay.
You have to use your Nash survival. I don't think a dragon has a survival.
I don't have a survival stat.
skill.
Let's see. Okay. It's +4. It's pretty good. All right. So that's 10 for the first one. Not great.
Mm-hmm.
What did I say? +4. So that's 14 for the next one. 16.
Yep.
And then one more.
Yep. Give me one more.
Woo. Nat 20 +4, so 24.
Okay, perfect. So you begin to fly in that same direction, and about 5 minutes later, you come across another banana, and then
All right.
another one. They're quite frequent.
All right. And Nash in his
You're-
mind,
you're
he's
pretty certain.
yeah, and I'm brought back to thoughts of a story I heard once when I was in the solar mines about a young pair of siblings who left a candy trail for someone to find them before they were eaten by an evil witch. And it dawns on me that maybe they're leaving me a banana trail. And it dawns on me even further that it's probably Varel, because it seems like something he would do.
Very good. So you're successful. The party then spends the next 3 hours as the sun comes up, and it's overcast. Strangely enough, there's no sun in the sky, but you see the warmth of light begin to shimmer across the horizon. Hope the gates of Tiet Kala present themselves to you, and you drive through them as they open themselves up for you, and then Tieflings close them up behind you. You're now inside the walls, safe.
Sweet. I'll drive the car to the Royal Truckery, and then I'll be on my way to the keep to inform the guards about what we saw and danger on the horizon. There's a wizard
Okay.
out there. Or
We
sorcerer.
Okay.
may also want to tell them to keep an eye out for Nash. He will be coming in either as a dragon or a ragged man on foot.
Yes, thank you, Stanley.
All right, you go to do that. And speaking of which, Nash eventually, about 20 minutes behind, as it took you some time to lose the warband and to make your way, you see Tiet Kala on the horizon. But you feel your form begin to give out. As you've been flying for 3 hours, but you spent 20 minutes in the air trying to lose them. So you won't quite make it to the gates, and you feel your form, you're hundreds of feet in the air, and you feel your form begin to give out.
All right, I'll drop rapidly and as safely as I can so that I can be close enough to ground to not fall and die.
Okay, perfect. So you sort of for once, you get out of dragon form in a graceful manner and don't get beaten up or anything like that. You're actually able to just exit out of it. I'll need you to roll 1d4 minus 1 levels of exhaustion.
Okay. All right, here goes. That would be 2. Yeah,
Okay,
2.
so you now are at exhaustion level 2.
Yep. I'm gonna put that in there right now.
And you hit the ground, gracefully sort of landing, transforming back into your form. Unfortunately, it looked really close, but you've got a good, 20 miles ahead of you. It's going to take you a few days to walk back.
Exhaustion level 2. All right.
You should make it back in time for the principal's arrival
Okay.
in 2 days.
Sweet.
You got food with you?
I have bananas.
I'll send out a band
He's
to
got
look
food.
for
Yeah,
Nash.
I've been picking up bananas. I got bananas. Potassium. I'm good. Getting my fruit. Totally gonna survive on the bananas.
All right, which you land near one, so you've got your first banana. You weren't picking them up, were you?
No, but if
Let's
I've
hope
got that
nobody
much,
else figures out the trail.
well, if I've got that much longer to walk, there's at least what'd you say, 2-3 miles, something like that?
But 20 miles.
Oh, 20.
An hour,
There's a ton
an
of
hour a mile.
there's a ton of bananas between me and there,
Well,
right?
It's about one every
Yeah,
3
yeah.
miles.
he threw less of them towards the end.
Oh, well, at least there's 2 or 3 bananas. I'll be all right.
Okay, perfect.
Nash can
So
live on
you'll
some,
be-
some bananas.
You'll be back with the party in about 2 days.
Yeah, I might have the shits when I get there, because of all these bananas. But other than that,
Hope they'll send out a car party.
Okay, very good.
oh, I love
Um,
it. That's awesome.
Okay, so Hope has decided to send out a search party for you. So you get settled in Nash for a good 2-day hike towards Tietkala, which you can barely see on the horizon as the light comes up. But then you see a big cloud of dust come up and a pickup truck come by full of tieflings.
Yeah.
And it drives up to you and pulls up and goes, "Champion of Tietkala, our queen sends us to pick you.
To pick me up.
Yes, please get in the vehicle."
All right, I'll get in the car. It's like when the snow speeders found Han Solo. We found them.
Yeah,
I repeat,
basically.
we found them. Remember that? So that's it. I'm good. I'll go with them. I'll ride with them.
So you get in the back of the cab, and the truck turns around, makes its way back to Tietkala. The gates open, and you're ferried inside,
All right.
and the doors close safely in.
Am I greeted
Welcome
by
back
any
to
of my
Tietkala, Nash.
any of my friends there as I get pulled in?
No, it's daytime. You don't know where anyone is.
Good, because I'm grouchy, I'm full of bananas, and I'm ready to yell at whoever just decided to leave me out there in the sky.
Where might you find your friends? We now should be on the Tietkala map, and there are locations for you to visit.
Before we separated fully, Stanley would probably pull Hope aside just real quick and just say, "Hope, I feel like I owe you a bit of an apology. Earlier today, well, yesterday, I don't know what time it even is now at this point, but I compared you to the Acrimonacar Joel Eligos. And while I feel I was justifiably angry, of anybody here, I should be a bit more forgiving of, not holding someone responsible for the actions of others. That especially applies to me. And I'm sorry that I was holding you in contempt for what Nobieri did.
No, please don't apologize, Stanley. It was a very scary situation, and I had no idea he would do that. I understand why, but I don't agree with it. And I'll do better to try and make sure that doesn't happen again.
I mean, he seems incredibly dedicated to helping you, but sometimes that dedication goes into fanaticism.
It does. And with that happening, I hope Emanil offers a counterbalance to that. Maybe they both can find a bit more from each other than hatred.
That would be ideal. Anyway, I think I'm going to go and just make sure that she is all right and call it an evening, even though it's morning at this point.
I'll sleep well then.
And that's what I'll go do. I'll go see if she's at the church.
You go to look for Eminel? Okay.
Yeah.
So you go to the church. Okay, so what does everybody want? Everyone's going to their collective people. Does anyone want to accomplish anything before they go sleep? Or you're in town. Everyone's sort of separated at this point.
Yeah, I just gotta hope we'll go back to the keep.
I would love a rest. I want to go find Angela Ashley wherever she's at.
You left her at the Golden Sands.
All right. My first thing to do would be go there
Okay.
and track her down and just make sure all is well.
And you, Varel?
I head back to the Golden Sands, but on the way there, I see something that I'd like to investigate. Called
Okay.
Tedna's Playground.
Yes.
It's in view of the Golden Sands, so I'd like to wander the 2 blocks south and see what's been built here.
Well, it's a park. Hope, you describe the park that you've built.
Oh, it's like a big old park. You got things made of scrap pieces for kids to play on. There are fountains. There's green lawn. Yeah, trees, I guess. A couple trees.
Sure.
Little walking trail with those little workout stations.
Excellent. Are there signs on the on what to do at
Yes,
each station?
There'd have to be. Right?
Excellent. I passed the Tedna trials. And I make my way around the park.
Okay, excellent. All right, so perfect. Does anyone have anything that they want to do, or in preparation? The next thing that was sort of left to be done, or the thing that's on the schedule, is you said, Hope, in 3 days you invited the principal to come see you.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's still things to discuss. You were sent out to explore the crater by Nobieri. It might be worth having a meeting, with everyone, and sort of leave that to you guys to decide.
Yes, I'd want to describe what happened, let them know about the worms, the worm father, and some sort of cavalcade of vehicles that came by before going to bed. and
Right,
getting some
so-
sleep.
Should you schedule a meeting with the party, or
Oh, I
like-
guess that's the question. I wouldn't feel like any of the heroes of the waste would need to be there.
Oh, I see.
So I'd call in Nobieri, Eminel if she's around, and then darn it, what's his name?
Melgor?
Melgor. Yes, thank you. Those 3 in, describe the situation so that they know what's going on while I sleep, and then go to bed.
Okay. Nobieri in particular is troubled by the information. It sounds as though a dragon has landed, has been carried off, and that doesn't bode well.
Not a lot does.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're in town. You can tell me what you want to do, or you can tell me if you want to wait. There isn't anything on the agenda for me, so to speak.
Did I
So-
find Angie? She good?
You did find Angie, yes.
Okay.
Okay. So we're still at the return. You come in, you get off the pickup truck. They go, "Have a good day," and they drive off.
Wow. It's a friendly
And
bunch.
they drive off, and you sort of jump off, make your way to the Golden Sands. You notice that the clientele in there is packed. A lot of people are eating out today because of the stone rain that had happened just the night before. That didn't make anyone feel like cooking. So you see Fibel in the Golden Sands, along with Bock Bock, working quite hard. You hear "Mara, Mara" from the back room, and Fibel goes, "Yes, yes, I'm helping. I'll be right there." And then you also, as you walk into the Golden Sands, see Angelashi serving drinks to customers as well. And then Bob turns around and he goes, Nash, how you doing?
Oh, he's
It's
drinking.
good to see you again.
Bob. Yeah, it's good to see you. Hang on a second.
Yeah, where did you go?
That's a long story, but I just flew here, and boy, my arm's tired. Literally, I'm tired. I need to talk to my wife.
Why are you flying?
Again, it's
Why was she
a
flying?
long story. We had a little bit of a run in out in the desert. I've decided to take off and try to avoid something, and then I'm back. It's all that matters now is I'm back, Bob.
Well, and then Angela, she cuts on and says, have another free drink, Bob. Go ahead, have your fill. Cheers, Angie. I like ya. Give me a drink there, Fibble. And Fibble gets the drink. Angela, she comes up to you, puts her arms around you, gives
Yeah.
you a kiss.
Yeah.
Says, thank God you're back. Or she should say, thank the gods you're back.
Is everything fine here?
Yes, there's been a lot of people to feed, but we've been all taking good care of each other and trying to find all the positive out of it.
No one's hurt.
I'm glad you made it back a lot sooner than I thought you would. You've only been gone this evening. I didn't expect to see you for weeks.
We kind of, I suppose, found what we were looking for in a way.
And what was that?
Well, for me, a quick ticket back home. I'm tired, and I'm hammered, and I need rest.
Well, let's go back and get some rest. Fibble, I'm leaving with Nash now. And he goes, but who's going to help me?
Have Bob do it.
And he looks at you and he looks at Bob. And I don't think Vorel will like that very much. And Bob is not allowed to help.
Well,
What do you mean I'm not allowed to help? Sheesh.
I'm not thrilled with Varel at the moment, so it's fine. He'll survive.
Oh no, what did Vorel do?
If he comes in here and he says, "Have you seen Nash?" Tell him I went bananas and I'm getting some rest. He'll know what I
so
mean.
you take off. You take off with Angela Ashes. She puts an arm around you and helps you back to the home that you share together. And several hours later, after your walk through Tenda's Park, Pharrell walks back into the Golden Sands Inn.
Ah, I'm back.
Welcome back, Pharrell, says Bob. He's clearly had quite a lot to drink. And it's
Bob?
like 8 in the morning. There are tons of patrons in the establishment, by the way. Lots of people having breakfast.
Oh. All right then, and I'll go place Mawstorm back up on the wall where it belongs.
Okay. So was it dangerous? Says Fibble.
It was. It was. There was a hole, a big hole in the ground, and in that hole was a small man. And on that small man was a flower. And after that, Diantalis ate him. Soon, a wizard appeared.
A wizard!
Yes, a wizard, Bob.
That's incredible.
This wizard, he poofed out of existence, leaving only his hobs behind.
What's your hob?
A large
his-
Bock Bock.
Bock Bock! You hear from the kitchen.
We fought them. We returned home.
Well, that's a good tale. You should have brought me with you. Next time, bring me with you, Varel. I'll get your back. I'm pretty good with a soup can.
Soup can. Really?
You fill up a soup can with metal and you throw it at the enemies that you're fighting. I'm a good shot.
I'll lean in real close to Bob. What do you know of worms, Bob?
I know all sorts of stuff about worms. Sometimes I know it doesn't look like it, but I don't have the money for food, so I've got to find something to eat. So I go in the sewers and I find the worms that taste good and the worms that taste ugh. So I can tell you which worms are the good ones.
The sewer is full of worms, Bob.
The earth is full of worms, especially here with all the irrigation and the water, the ground. The worms love it. They fertilize the earth. It's a great circle of life.
This is troubling news. I will tell Hope of it in the morning.
Can I come with you, Vorl? I think I should, as an expert, help you with your
Very well.
worms.
You will show me the breeding site of these worms.
Oh, good. That's great, Vorel. Finally, we can become friends. I can share something about me that I know with the world.
Well done, Bob. Be here in the morning.
But, wait. It is the morning.
Ah. Then I must rest. Be here in the evening.
You bet.
You're always here anyway. I will see you later.
Have a good sleep, Vorl. You're the best.
Sleep.
I like you even better now. All right, then you go to take sleep. As you move, the sleeping quarters for you and Bock Bock are beneath ground through the kitchen, so you have to go to the kitchen. Bock Bock's in there making breakfast. He goes, Vorl, return!
Yes,
And
Bock
he,
Bock.
he runs to you with arms outstretched, and then he hugs your leg.
I embrace it.
Happy
Give him
see Vorel!
And I pull from under my pit. One of these is yours, Bock Bock. And I hand him a banana. One of the three left. Strange
Jewelry?
fruit from across the desert.
Jewelry.
Fruit?
Yes.
What
Fibble?
fruit?
Fibble, I have a gift for you.
Oh? For me? No. There is no need. It is a gift working here with you.
Then accept this as a token of my appreciation. And I hand him a banana.
And he takes the banana and bows, and he looks at it and he goes, but what is it?
It's a fruit, as told to me by the lepers.
The lepers.
Yes, small leopards that live in the ground.
Lepers that live in the ground. Is
Maybe
it dangerous?
No, he was quite jolly until eaten.
But lepers, don't they have rotting flesh? And they're exiled? You mean something else, probably, right?
We'll ask Stanley next time he's here.
Ah, very good. So it is safe to eat for
Yes.
planting? What do I do with this?
Well, I've got one banana left. I figured I might plant this one, but among friends, perhaps I'll demonstrate. Like this. And I peel the banana.
Just for a minute. Everyone remember there's a big giant lizard doing this. Peeling a banana.
You peel the banana back.
Amazing.
And what do you do with what's inside?
I've been informed it is delicious, and we eat them. And I will
Can't-
bring it up to my teeth and take a little at the end.
And you don't really chew with your mouth closed, do you? You're a lizard folk.
Yeah, no, just kind of,
So this is like yellow paste all
yeah,
around.
just kind of mush it up in there.
Does it taste good to a lizard folk?
I mean, chameleons look real happy, so maybe.
All right. I mean, it's sweet.
Yeah.
You like the coffee, but well, it wasn't sweetened though. That coffee. It's maybe the first sweet thing you've ever eaten, besides the sweet juices of blood.
It's probably a bit chalky for me.
Yeah. And Fibble takes his and peels his back. Like this. And he takes a bite. I don't know if I like it that much. Is
Me
it
neither.
magical? Does it make you good at mathematics?
No.
He closes it back up and puts it in his pocket. I save for later. I'll show to my mother.
Yes, I will save mine for later too. I'll do the trifold. Bock Bock, how fares your banana?
Bock Bock, no interest. Bock Bock will save. Thank you for a present.
No.
Maybe make blowy with fruit.
Sure. I'll head to bed.
Sure.
All right. It was a good scene. All right. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to do before they go to sleep?
No,
No.
just checking, making sure Eminel's okay, and then bed.
Okay. So, again, it's up to you as players to decide if you want to convene. Hope we'll have whatever preparations that you're going to have in anticipation, assuming nobody wants to do anything for the next 3 days of note. This is ball's kind of in your court on this one.
Oh,
Ball's in everyone's court if they want to do something prior to the 3 days. Ball's in Hope's court to decide what she wants to do at the principal meeting.
Vaunch, I want to send him a note to talk to that dwarf, Strongly, about setting up a deal to get stone, steel, and wood so that we wouldn't have to go through Slave Town.
Vaunch. Oh, with Okay. Sorry, it was. I have to get that note out.
it was way back when. One of the little.
No, I have it here. I just didn't. Well, you circumnavigated that entire fight, so that's good. So I just got to get my notes open. It was it's the Master of Trade, right, Vaunch? I'm just getting my
Yeah.
who's who open here. Is it Relum Vaunch, if I remember
Yes.
correctly? Sorry, it's taking its time loading up. Sorry about these. Okay, so what did you want to have hold court?
I would simply send a note with a messenger, a royal messenger, that he should go speak with the dwarf staying at Varel's Inn.
Oh, I see. So you're going to tell him to go talk to Strongme on your
Yes.
behalf. Okay. He's the trader who's visited town, the owner of the Diamond Stroke.
Yep.
Okay, about setting up trade relations. All right,
Yes.
so you can definitely do that. I will have a response for you. Let's say this is day one. This is the evening, so you take care of that in the evening. Anything else anyone wants to do?
I would show Hope with Bob the location of the worms where they built their base.
Okay. Which would be in the farms. So if you go to the soil in the farms, there are earthworms because the soil is good for growing fruits and vegetables, and there's irrigation to keep it damp. The soil, it's pretty bad because it's still a wasteland, but it's manageable. And there are earthworms in it. And Bob shows you the regular earthworms, the ones that are delicious, and the ones that, the fat ones are pretty good, but the skinny ones are kind of gross.
I say we will not bother Hope with this location.
All right, perfect. Okay.
Do I have a home in this city?
Do you?
I don't
mean-
know. I just realized we never discussed that.
Well, that's something you need to take up with Hope. I think she said that you guys are definitely free to have a dwelling, whether it's in the keep. You could be staying in there's a noble house in the keep, or having property in Tidkala itself.
All right.
And we can discuss it now. There's no.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is all. It's all very free form right now. I know we usually go from show to show, and it's like this is what's happening, this is going. But we're in town. Hope you said meet in 3 days, so I've got nothing for 3 whole days. So it's whatever, however you guys want to deal with it, or however you want to meet to prep for the principal's arrival, or whatever it is you guys want to do. This is like in your court, and I'll answer all your questions.
Okay, cool. So I'll send out an invitation to the heroes to go ahead and show up early the day the principal is supposed to arrive, so we can all be outfitted, and so that everyone can be there in the throne room when the principal shows up. Aside from
So
that,
you send messengers to tell them that?
yeah, I'll give them like little royal invitations.
You guys don't meet in person anymore. All right, you show up
to get
early.
well, I've got a kingdom.
She's
to
the
run.
queen, yeah. She gets to do
Okay.
that shit.
All right.
I'm gonna hunt down Nash at some point. Probably on the second day, I figure. Make sure that he made it back to town.
Oh,
and
Yeah, nobody seems too concerned about Nash's whereabouts.
well, honestly,
Nash is a big boy.
I would have assumed that he made it back as a dragon, but gone to bed that first day, and then woke up and been like, oh, I should probably make sure Nash made it back. So that's when I would go find Nash.
okay. So,
Best friends
there's a knock at your door, Nash.
that I ever had. Okay,
You hear it through the house.
I go, what?
Nash, it's me. Get your crusty butt out here.
Oh, now you're here. Fine. I get up and I shuffle my way to the door.
Are you wearing your robe, or are you just in your bandages? 'Cause
I'm
you're
in
at
my
home?
bandages, robes off, and in the corner somewhere. So I'm just all
Oh.
bandaged up.
Nash, you can't make yourself a little more presentable.
Fine. I turn around and I go and grab the thing so I'm covered and bring it back. Is that better?
All right. Much, thank you. I was wondering if we might take a little walk and have a discussion.
Well, Peter the Prude, let's go. What do you got to say? Let's go. And we leave.
You're now standing at the front door, and Nash is walking down the road.
All right, I'm following walk with him. Well, first, I'm glad you made it back. What happened to you anyway?
Well, I was trying to keep watch over you in the car. And things got weird with that war party, and they followed me. I guess I was all they wanted. So I had to lose them and then try to make my way back. And I only figured it out because of tracks and mostly those bananas that you guys left the trail of. They also helped me survive. And yeah,
That was Varel's idea. You should thank him when you have a moment.
the worst part was when I dragoned and I became human again. I still had 20 some odd miles to go, and I have a horse right there on my cloak, and I didn't think to use it because I was dehydrated and all full of bananas.
Well, what's important is you got back okay.
Have you ever eaten nothing but bananas for 20 or for a full day? Have you ever done that, Stanley?
I've
gotta-
never
you gotta
eaten
drive
a
back,
single
remember,
banana.
Nash?
You have to tiptoe around or you'll shit yourself.
Well, that seems normal for you.
I'm just saying it wasn't easy. You guys left and never bothered to check. You just assumed I was going to be fine.
We had no way of getting a hold of you, Nash. You were a dragon that could have been literally anywhere.
We got to fix that. We got to come up with a way to, I don't know, just there was an advantage to me being in the sky and you on the ground, and then once we got separated, that could have turned out real sour in my direction.
I don't know, maybe next time try picking up the car and take us with you.
Well, I hadn't thought of that, but sure. We'll talk it out better next time.
Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about Dying Talents.
All right, fine.
I understand you have a lot of concerns based on what he said to you the other day. Talking about Angelashi and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to let you know that, for what it's worth, I'm fairly certain that he is good to his word, that he means no harm to them under the auspices of the same deal he made with you.
Okay.
I know it doesn't mean a whole lot, but I just wanted to reassure you I'm doing everything I can to get rid of him. Until then, I believe they should be safe.
I mean, I believe you, but when he takes over, I don't have a whole lot of faith. He's not you, and you don't seem to have much sway when he's him.
Well, he does say that he is not capable of telling a lie, but I have learned over time that that is something of a malleable concept when it comes to him. Still, he's been true to his word so far, and until we see otherwise, I think we can hold him to that at the very least.
Well, then I will hold him and you to his word. But if he touches her, goes near her, even if it means the end of you, I will end him.
I would expect nothing less, Nash. Just keep an eye out. He's not that great at impersonating me. I think you should know.
I agree. Oh, hold on a second. And I have to run to the can again because I've still got banana problems.
Well, where will you run to the can? You're like way far from your house.
Oh, am I? Oh, yeah, we're not in there anymore.
Oh.
Stanley just leaves. He's seen what Varel usually takes about 3 hours for this to all work itself out, so.
All right. I'll go find a bush or a rock and go, okay, we're good.
A rock?
We're good. I'm behind a rock.
Shit on?
No, I'm behind the rock. Not on
Well,
the
there are
rock.
large rocks in town, actually, but you're no matter where you are, you're in view of some windows, probably.
Oh, I don't care about those people. Who cares?
Right. You go behind a rock, which is not behind anything else, really, and then start shitting.
Yeah.
Daddy, the champion's here.
Look away, son. Look away.
Remember when he saved us all? He was so heroic.
Yeah. Look, you get the. If you're gonna eat how's the old phrase go? If you're gonna eat the chicken, you get the bones, or something like that. Nash is Nash, and that's the way it is.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
good stuff.
that's it.
But I signal to. I mean, I want Stanley to know I believe him. So whatever I did to express that, we'll hold him to it.
As you were running off into behind a rock.
I gotta go.
Okay, so anything else anyone wants to do with the 3 days before?
I don't think so. I think that's it for me.
All right, rest, recovery, maybe helping townsfolk clear off the debris, something along those lines. Hope, is there anything that you'd like to do to set up the arrival of the principal?
Yeah, let's have some fanfare. We'll roll out nice carpets. Everything will be polished, dusted, cleaned up as
Like,
much as
where-
possible.
Where will you receive him?
Oh, in the keep. I'll be on the throne.
In
He'll
the
be
throne
ushered
room?
through the town. Yeah.
Okay.
Assuming that's how he shows up.
Are there any plans for his consort? Or his host, whoever shows up with him?
That's right.
you
Who's
sent-
the
you
color
sent-
to house them?
You didn't exactly specify a lot of details after cutting out poor Softhead's tongue.
Okay, so if he has people, oh jeez, this is tough, right? They'd be allowed to sleep where the guests sleep, but there would be constant surveillance. There would be an uptick in security.
Okay, so you'll have guards on them at all times, but
Yeah.
you'll be also serving them food and making their stay
Yeah,
comfortable.
and treating them as another bit of royalty.
Okay, all right. Any other special instructions, or you good with that?
Nobody is to hold just casual conversation with anybody that the principal brings in and the principal himself. It's
Okay.
all business talk. No chit chat. No way for him to worm his nasty words into the people's heads.
Okay. All right. Very good. Then, if everyone's settled, we can move time ahead.
How much? Sorry, remind me on levels of exhaustion. I just need 2 long rests to get rid of 2.
Yeah, you'll be clear by the time
Okay.
that day rolls around.
All right,
So you can clear them all up.
I will clear it now.
All right, so a few days goes by. The life in Tiet Kala returns somewhat to normal. There's no follow-up attacks from the warband you provoked out near the crater. No other big events, no assassinations, no suspect behavior. The people of Tiet Kala get to work rebuilding, fixing, moving stones off the property, starting to repair walls, holding funerals in the crypt for those that have fallen. Hope your first day is spent being quite busy attending and saying a few words for those who have fallen for during this great travesty. It's tragic act of God, really. I mean, the people of Tiet Kala understand that something landed, and I think you would have explained the truth that a dragon fell from the sky, or just that it was a rock that fell from the sky. And
Let's go
Benign.
with dragon. Yeah, let's not lie to the people, because that's not, I don't think, something that would have sent them into a
so
frenzy.
you've told them a dragon had fallen from the sky, and the town is tense as a result of that, knowing the truth. But it's a bad omen. There's a lot of fear going around. People do bow to your leadership and wisdom, but they are also not assuaded that bad things aren't coming. And of course, everyone aware of is the principal is visiting soon. It's now the morning of the big day. I think everyone's up early. Would everyone be up early?
Sure.
I
Yeah, I
would send
think so.
escorts.
Okay, armed escorts have come to each of your houses to collect you to bring to the keep.
All right, I'd travel with them.
Okay.
Bangelash, she stays home, right? I don't need to bring. We're not bringing her.
That's your choice.
I'm not bringing her. She's staying there, and I tell her as much. She's not happy about
Okay.
it, but she stays.
And Hope, who's receiving the principal? Is it the entire nobility? Is it just the 4 of you? Is it there's some people in there with you? What's the protocol?
Oh, that's, oh man, oh, so many cool questions. Okay, so how would this go down? I would send Melgor with the best of his guards.
The Order of Poxus, not just the guard. You have the guards and you have the Paladric
That's
Order
right.
of Poxus.
Yeah, let's go with Melgor in the order of Poxus.
Okay.
The toughest looking ones. And have them bring in the principal.
From
and
the
his
gates
entourage.
from the gates to the keep, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you receive them, who will be in the room?
It will be me, Stanley, Nash, Varel, Nobieri, Eminil, and extra guards there to fetch servants if we need them.
So guards, not pages, in the room with you.
Correct. Pages are a bit
Potentially-
too weak for this.
Again, from the Royal Guard or from the
Oh.
Paladric Order?
Let's.
The reason I
do-
ask is you may have things that you conversate about that the public will likely know through word of mouth, depending on who you let in and who you do not.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Let's keep it Order of Poxus then. So we'll try and make this room as loyal as possible, but there's, there are always going to be leaks.
Yeah, I mean the Royal Guard, the Tieflings are still proud, but the Paladins are more likely to honor their oaths
Yeah.
to the death versus the Guard.
Cool.
Okay, very good. So it's the morning of. Armed escorts have come to collect you, Varel, Stanley, Hope, or Nash.
Okay.
Are you
We'll
bringing
go.
Angelashi? Did you decide?
No, she's staying. I'm not bringing her.
Varel, you bringing Bock Bock?
No, I'll put Fibble in charge.
Okay. Perfect. You leave Fibble in charge, and you make your way very early uh, to that. Already, people have begun milling in the streets.
I was gonna
Sorry,
say
Kristen.
they all have special outfits that were made for the day too. So
Oh,
Stanley, Nash, and Varel all look.
when you arrive together in the castle, you're put into this sort of room. That's like a green room. You're all left there, and then servants come forward with clothing for each of them.
Yeah, perfectly measured. They're rich. It's rich looking, but it's also somewhat armor. Like it's all
Okay.
matching. They're Avengers.
What are we giving Stanley, for example?
Oh, to complement his outfit, right? So it would be a nicer cape, a wonderful scabbard for the sword, a very fancy doublet, nice shoes, maybe some stockings.
Stanley?
Maybe not stockings.
What do you wear these clothes?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And what do we get? What do we get, Nash?
Oh
A very
Lord.
fancy cape, very clean.
Okay, good.
And it would cover everything it would need to cover. There would be lots of little pockets on the inside so you could keep whatever you wanted in there.
All
Can you
right.
please give him breeches and stockings?
I don't be under the cape.
Or-
So maybe some gold infused bandages.
Oh my god! All right, there's a roll of gold-lined bandages presented to you.
Can I be like the Imperial Guard in Star Wars, where it's just really everything's covered except for my little eye slit?
I mean, it's a roll of bandage. You can bandage yourself up however you like, I guess.
Okay, I'm
Comes
doing
in
it.
looking like the mummy.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
All right, so it's gold and it's ornate. I imagine there's a design to it and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, and what are we getting for Varel?
And Varel's gonna have a fancy sash, kind of like Chewbacca, mostly naked, but there's like a fancy sash. Moss Storm can fit in it if Moss Storm was brought, but not necessary. And then some little wrist thingies.
Like bracelets.
Like
Yeah,
the genie.
Bracers
Yeah.
make them sound cooler.
bracers. Yes.
But is it? Are they golden? What?
Yeah, let's
they-
go with gold. So we have a color theme
Brass?
here. It's a really deep red and gold.
Ah, well, you're presented with things to wear as well, Pharrell.
All right, I'll put them on. I appreciate the Moss Storm detail and attach it to my back.
Okay, so they're all gussied up. Is there any makeup that they're being offered?
No.
Okay. You never know. In the court, people can see your face better from farther. If we wear makeup, it might be a thing. Okay, and then where do they go next? What's the...
That would be it. Then they'd be ushered into the throne
Okay.
room.
You're ushered into the throne room, and the room is quiet. It's just the four of you, plus Nobieri and
Yeah.
Emanil,
Yes.
who moves towards you, Stanley, and says, "Hello again, Stanley.
Hello.
Have your prayers been going well?"
Yes, they have. I'm still concerned about the reappearance of Diantalis, but so far nothing since what I told you before. Because I'm assuming I filled her in at some point
Yeah.
over these
well,
past few days.
Yeah, we kind of didn't do a debrief. Everyone just kind of went off their own. Like, well, whatever. We checked out that crater, anyways. Going back on. So okay. So we just assume a debrief happened, probably at the church.
Yeah.
Where you would have gone. Okay. And have you been able to produce water again?
I have honestly not tried.
You should keep at it.
Maybe.
The path to the fishbird is the path to your freedom from this guest traveler you have with you.
I understand that, but it's just not that simple. That day was really difficult. Between the people being crushed and Diantalis coming back, it felt like two steps back.
We take this one day at a time, and you will come out better than what you started. We will help you get rid of this affliction. I promise you.
I appreciate it.
And on that note, so Eminil's there, Nobieri's there. Is Melgor there?
He will be once he escorts the principal into the throne
Got it.
room.
Okay. So Paige comes in and whispers into your ear. He has arrived.
Hope will nod and motion for the page to leave.
The page says, sorry. Okay, I'm going. And the page goes.
All right,
And then
everyone. He's here.
There's a long sort of silence as you've been just informed he's just arrived, but you have to imagine whatever's going on outside because you can't see from in here. It's taking its time. Eventually you hear doors open, boom, from another room, and you hear sort of the crowd of people sort of just there's like a discussion talking, and then the doors close, boom, from the other room, and that background talking stops. A few moments goes by, and you hear movement, and then finally the throne room doors open. Melgor walks in, and he says, "Presenting to your highness, Queen Akmenos, Queen of Tiet Kelin, and freer of our people, I present the one who calls himself the principal." And then he bows, and then there is a large 10-foot tall black muscled figure with etchings of blue cut across his skin, and the sound of metal and heavy steps as it walks in. Boom, 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 boom. He's hooded, and he brings his hood back as he approaches the throne. "It is good to finally meet the Queen of Tiet Kala." He does not bow, but he steps forward, and he looks at you, and he pulls his hood back just a little bit so you can see the front of his face, but not the sort of back where his hair is. And what you see is a white, almost a mask-looking sort of visage, but it's black, and the eyes glow just blue. There's no eyes; they just glow blue. And when his mouth opens, there's the tint of blue. He's seemingly made of solid metal, black with blue etchings. He walks into the room and he says, "What a gorgeous kingdom you have here. You must be very proud of what you have recovered."
I am, and welcome to Tiet Kala, Principal.
"Thank you. I'm glad we could take this time to speak."
Well, thank you for seeing us.
He stops for a second as if searching for words, and he says, "How do you suppose this should begin?"
Well, you requested to meet, so what would you like to speak about?
I did. I felt that I wanted to thank you for all that you have done for the principal. But I also felt there were some misunderstandings, according to our mutual friend, Noble Softhead. I thought it would be best to meet in person and to clear up these misunderstandings, and also to forge ahead with a new future with the tieflings of Tiet Kala and the glorious lands of the principal, that being me, working together in alliance for the greater good of our civilizations.
Well, what misunderstandings would you like to speak about before we jump into anything like that?
let's begin with the thank yous. It has come to my understanding that unlikely heroes from a small village called Dust Hill that was raided by my own agents sought justice in the rusty cage and found it, as it was meant to do. We value the strong in my realm, and it seems you are strong, beating 4 of our initiates, a feat very few manage to accomplish. Afterwards, and I do not know the reason for your motivation, but one Tylander Sullivan had been making trouble for my magistrate Ethanalia, so he describes. And he credits you with going to the Black Mine, under siege by demonic forces, and purging it. And also settling the matter of the deed to the Chopper Mine. It seems it was never recovered, and in fact, its necessity really just a formality. But in excising the corrupt forces from the mine was a great boon to our empire and realm. Yet you did not stay around to claim any reward. The next time I heard of persons matching your description, one of our mages from the Arcanum Universalis, Buttons, reported back that one of yours was corrupted by an ancient being. It was very dangerous to our realms. And as he says this, he's sort of locking eyes with Stanley at this point. We must work together to eliminate all threats to the realm of mortals. However, he had failed, and what I did not know was that here you sit with the returned tieflings of Tiet Kala. I assure you, our people meant to take this realm and the Gem of Tides, which is the lifeblood of the civilization here, from the unruly Guzzle Gang, who were very uncivilized. And we thought we could show a better way. However, this great kingdom is now under its rightful rulership of tieflings, and there is none who admire tieflings more than me, the Steel God's embodiment on Earth, the principle. So, on behalf of myself and my kingdom and our planet, thank you, heroes. Soft had mentioned how I would like to make this gesture physical and real, not just mere words. On the way back now are the citizens of Dust Hill that Ethanalia conspired with the goblins to raid and take as slaves. They'll be returned to you by nightfall.
We thank you for your extreme generosity in the matter.
It is not generosity to do what is right. His etchings glow. He's wearing, and one thing you notice as he talks and he puts his hands out is he's got a lot of chains, golden chains, around his black metal body with blue etchings. And he has 10 rings. They're red on his thumb and all of his fingers. As he talks, he's got these very flashy 10 red rings around all of his fingers.
What more would you like to discuss?
And I hope, Queen Akmenos, it is understood that our actions to take Tiet Kala were in the interest of my kingdom. We did not know that the tieflings would be returning to this world. The tieflings are a great source of strength, unlike the other mortal beings, in particular because you are of demon kind, and your people reject the demons. They know no purchase with the true tiefling queen. Thus, you are my most likely ally in the war against the weird kind. I know you know of them. They were festering below in the black mine. I propose an alliance.
Nash is
What
not
would this-
moving. He's holding perfectly still during this.
What would this alliance entail?
You have things that we can use in the city. A large supply of oil at your back. We would love to have some of this in trade for the kinds of things that you might need. The great principal city is surrounded by several kingdoms, each which serve a purpose to help our economy grow and claim some semblance of civilization long past. In particular, we have a supply of wood. We have the mine that the dwarves have that is nearly endless with metals, things that you could use to construct weapons and buildings that you will not find out here in the beyonds. I propose we run a railroad. Sorry, a railroad. Do you know what a train is, Hope? Queen Hope. Queen Orifi. Sorry, we should be referring to you.
Has this come up in the studies at all?
No, but you've seen something referred to a railroad on the maps, the new map
Okay.
that you have.
I've heard of it, but I'm not sure what it is exactly.
Rail is much faster and more effective on costs for resources than running a warband back and forth. With an ally, we could have trains running nearly daily back and forth between our kingdoms to yours, bringing you goods from my lands and us taking oil and water from yours.
That does seem like a very fair trade, but I do believe I would need some time to discuss this with the members of the room as you see here.
Certainly, I
As
can
this
take
kingdom
their
is not
questions now.
entirely-
Oh, pardon me.
This kingdom, though ruled by me, I do take in the opinion of my people. And I would need time.
Well, if you wish, we can take a short recess. I'll happily wait while you discuss with your companions and counselors.
Any questions? And I'll turn to Stanley, Nash, and Varel.
I'll shake my head, but still, I'm not going to say any words. I don't trust these guys at all.
There's only one guy.
I don't trust this giant guy with his red rubies at all.
Okay.
Why did you destroy Dust Hill?
Why did I destroy Dust Hill? I did not destroy Dust Hill. I realize it is difficult, and I do not mean to condescend in this manner. But my lands are vast, and my people many. I set them out to tasks, but I do not manage and decide their every move. They report back to me with how things are going. And not all things are represented as clearly as they are in the flesh. The attack on Dust Hill, that's what you asked? I forgot the scope of the question.
Yeah. Why did you attack Dust Hill?
Dust Hill, as I understood it, and all of the Beyonds, were populated by savages. And savages are not good for much but killing and fighting one another. They serve better as indentured servants than as free peoples roaming around to murder and pillage. It was explained to me that Dustil was a camp of savages, many of their ilk you'll find out there. I had no way of knowing it was a peaceful place. It's much too small of a detail for me to know all of these things, and thus I rely on my counsel. Athanalia has been given a new task. His handling of the Beyonds has been too ham handed for my taste, given what I've learned about the failure on his part in the Black Mine.
Well, isn't that incredibly noble? You find out about it after the fact. You don't have any attention for these details, but these details are human beings. These savages are people just trying to live their life. And you come in and impose your will upon it without even a basic understanding yourself of the world you're taking over. You like to put yourself up on some sort of pedestal, but you are no more than another invading savage taking whatever he wants whenever he pleases. Tell me I'm wrong.
Harsh words to be certain. There's a bit of metallic ringing in his voice. There's a greater battle and war at play here, which you have seen in the Black Mine. I have no doubt. You have not said as much to me yet. But the demons of the Weir are real, and they are trying to claim our entire planet for itself. All the souls in this land. I need every last soul remaining to fight them. Fortunately for you, tieflings are born into this struggle, and you are among friends who understand this. But many humans do not realize the waste. And it's mostly humans. Let's not be mistaken. Do not realize the waste that their selfishness causes, and rather than fight for a cause, they would stab and destroy one another. When I can put them to greater purpose, and I do so with the blessing of the Steel God, and of Jesus Chrome, who atoned for his weaknesses and returned to the savagery that the Steel God blesses us with.
You do not need to speak to me about the unnecessary cruelty of humans. I am familiar with it all too well. But you speak as if you are outside of them. What exactly are you that is so far above the rest?
I am a humble servant. I have traveled these lands for thousands of years. I walked with Jesus Chrome along the Silver Road as he poured the chrome upon his body and atoned for his leniency to his tribe. The Steel God accepted him into the Steel Heaven, and there he is now. My own plight has been different. I stay here as his ultimate servant to help humanity fight back against the demon kind. My struggle is great, and I do not expect anyone to accept it upon the first time they hear it. It is beyond their wildest imaginings that I am over 1,000 years old, my young friend. And I have seen much of the world you have not, with the wisdom you could barely begin to comprehend. But I do not want to be condescending towards you. Your feelings and concerns are important to me. But the most important thing to me of all is the safety and security of this planet and of all living beings on it. Does this help my answer, my child?
I am most definitely not your child. And no, you still strike me as a bully just taking whatever he likes. But I am one voice, If anybody else has any questions for this would-be king, go ahead and ask them. I'm done.
And there's a silence afterwards, and he says, Queen Orifi, perhaps a recess so you can discuss with your council.
That sounds like a great plan. Please step outside, enjoy the weather. If you need anything, inform the guards and they will get it for you.
Enjoy the weather, it's a wasteland.
You know.
Okay. Well, his large metal body turns around with the cloak over top of him. He pulls it back and he exits out the front area, and the guards sort of follow him. The door closes. Milgor stays inside.
Oh, I know for one thing we can't just straight up kill him.
He reeks of power.
Yes.
His rings. I figure each has a different torment for us if we assault him directly. His eyes burn with power. He has an entire nation at his back.
Not even human.
No. No, I highly doubt even defeating this form would cause this creature to die.
Melgor speaks up. He says, Your Highness, he came to the city alone. No retinue, no vehicle. It's as though he walked here.
That's what makes this so scary.
We saw him on the horizon. We escorted him to the gates. He walked through for all the city to see. Peaceful, yet like a big man of steel.
I respect him greatly. I'm in awe. I find your deal even more disappointing now facing the principal. I count myself lucky to be free. What of it, friends?
Well, first, Nobieri and Eminil and even Melgor, tonight when the slaves come in, I need you to check them. Check them if if magic's been used on them, or if they have things in their ears. Anything that doesn't seem right, please. Don't hurt them, but we need to make sure he hasn't done anything to the slaves to get them in the city.
I doubt he will.
Probably not.
I think that his lack of threats speak more threatening than anything he could say. And so, do we ally today with the principal and feed our people well and house them in buildings of wood for the oil we have a surplus of? Or do we make war so we may unleash demons upon this world?
What about a longer plan for this? We have years before we would need to kill him, and he said he has kingdoms surrounding his own city. And if we had a railway in, maybe we could start taking them one by one.
He definitely seems to be incredibly aware of our exploits, but I agree, we certainly can't fight him now. And better to make a friend today than an enemy today in the state that we are. I don't like him, I don't want to ally with him, but he's not a foe we can exactly fight at this exact moment.
Who is set upon us, then? This Oblublu.
Who's a blue blue blue?
The whisperings that they say before they die.
Oh, Dolopopio.
Popio.
He's a demon. It's a boo boo. He's an assassin. From what I gathered, he was hired by Andriesta to kill me.
Unrelated to the principal, then.
Correct.
So we have a common enemy. On top of someone who could break your deals. that you are all wanting to be free of?
And I know you're excited, Varel, but we can't take him for face value. I don't trust he's as pure as he comes off.
Naturally.
He
In fact, I
makes
find-
his trade in the lives of people. Anybody he sees weaker, he sees as a slave that he can put to his will. Some more upfront than others.
And are you not slaves to the weird deal you have made?
Well, to some degree, yes.
But that was a deal we made ourselves. We won't be set by ravages with stronger weapons and forced into it. However, what if we could start changing his mind about slavery? What if there is some sort of willingness for him to give up taking this side of the mountain ranges?
Well, then he would be a preferable ally against the demons. Right now we have opposing allies and enemies that should be allied with each other, a whole demon court. It's a matter of who we're going to ally ourselves with now, who we take out first, what our focus is. Right now, the only ones who are actively trying to kill us is Andriesta and this Della Popio. Perhaps our focus should be them, and he would be a powerful ally in that fight.
Right. And I feel like we can't learn anything about his true motives unless we get closer.
We were once beset by a small mechanical radio. I highly doubt he isn't hearing this conversation.
That's a fine point.
I see 3 factions. 1, the Weirleards below. The Principal. And the land in the middle. Might we ally with the dragons above? Don't the dragons keep the demons at bay?
I mean, possibly, but we don't know any besides the one. He's only kinda a dragon.
With this silence, there's a knock on the front door.
Yes?
A page peers in from the front door and goes, and then comes in, closes the door. So I know you told me not to interrupt if it was anything, but someone is here to see. Please don't be mad. To see. He points to Varel. One of your kin is here to speak with you urgently. He won't take no for an answer. He's being quite a nuisance during this day. I'm stressed out. Can you just see him?
Hope will nod and give the sign to let him in.
Okay. And then he sort of opens up the door and waves in. And then the door pushes aside. And the page falls over on his butt, and the door opens up. And the page quickly gets up and closes the door and behind him. And in walks a golden lizard folk. Well, a brass with bronze lizard folk. You recognize him immediately. It's Diptak of the Golden Sands.
Diptak, and I'll take out my sword and swing and put it on the ground, light up my shield, and stand proud. What brings you to my kingdom? Our kingdom.
My liege. And he says this in Draconic, so only Nash and Pharrell
We
can understand.
all speak
Yeah,
Draconic.
can't we all hear it?
Yeah.
You all speak Draconic?
We do.
Yeah.
Yep, we do now.
Oh, okay. You do now?
Yeah.
My liege, I've sworn my house to you, but I have not seen you for many months. Wait, I'm speaking like a tiefling, but I have not seen you for many months. That is much better. Now I am speaking like a lizard folk.
Yeah.
Our kingdom is in great peril, Vorel. You must leave here and return to Razakval immediately.
Hope will look over at Varel.
Vrel will look over at Hope, and a grin is just spreading across his face. And he mouths, "A fine quest." Very well, Diptak. It is true. I have been very busy and very brave. I will head out soon. I'm afraid a pressing matter is upon us this day. Wait for me.
There is none more pressing. I must urgently ask you to return to Razakval and take your place at the head of our tribe. An usurper has taken the throne, and he must be thrown out. I can take it no longer. Your absence is noted and overdue, and we will reject you if you do not return with me today.
Very well. We shall meet at the Golden Sands. Can you find such a place?
Is it sand that is golden in this place? How do I find sand that is golden here? It is all brown and black, tainted with filth. Filth of vehicles. It stinks here, Vorel. How do you stand this place?
One day at a time. Page boy, and this is in common. Show this glorious lizard folk to the Golden Sands. Have him fed, supped, and prepared for travel. I will be with him shortly.
I will wait for you at these sands that are golden, but do not keep me long. We do not have much time. And with that, he waits, he opens up the door and walks out. I think we leave it there for today.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think we can resume the principal meeting there. I wanted to cliffhanger it on Diptak.
Diptak, dude. Ask your doctor if Diptak is right for you. Awesome.
You don't need to ask. Diptak is 100%
It's always right? Okay. That's good to know. Hadn't considered that. There you go, everybody. Our adventure continues next week at our normal time. I didn't mention this. The live recording was being done on a Sunday because of schedule stuff, but we worked it out so that we could make sure we got one in this week. So a few of you are going to be getting this show later going, oh, there it is, and wondering why. Well, that's why. But next week we'll be back on our normal Saturday time. If you're at home and you listen to this show and you're like, I'd really like to watch it sometime, and I'm totally caught up, how can I do it? Head on over to therewillbedungeons.com and you'll find all the descriptions you need about how to do that. It's live, 3 p.m. Mountain Time every Saturday for about 3 hours at twitch.tv/frogpants. And again, those details are on our website at therewillbedungeons.com. I think that's going to do it. Don't forget, you can support us over there. Same link. Check that out. Many of you have. Thank you to those who have. There's some cool stuff going out to you today. During the show today, I drew a Bugbear. That will be artwork that ships out directly to people in print form in an upcoming month, so watch for that. That's one of the cool perks. Anyway, read it. It's therewillbedungeons.com, and you'll find something that's right for you. I think that's it for us. Oh, and if you want to contact us, you can do it there too. Bo, any final bits of wisdom before we leave from the DM of all DMs?
The best way to save your loogies is to spit it in aluminum foil and put it in your pocket.
Oh my lord, that is great advice. What else could we need? That's going to be it. Thanks everybody for listening, and we'll see you next time. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. Well done.